For this project, you're going to need a piece of linoleum, a linoleum block, a pencil, a 2" by 2" square. This is stiff paper, but you could also do this with like cereal box cardboard or something like that. Some scissors, a ruler, some tape, and a linoleum block cutter that comes just like this. Once you have all your materials gathered, you're ready to get started. A couple notes on cutting. First of all, how you hold your blade is important. You don't want to hold it like a pencil straight up and down. It's not going to cut smoothly. Basically, you want to think of the end of your blade almost as like a spoon or a scoop, where you're scooping the linoleum out of the plate. So I'm holding it more so it's like actually laying on the plate, but then at a slight tip so that it can scoop down in and cut into it. And then as I'm working, I always want to push the blade away from me, so it's not like your traditional cutting where you would be pulling a blade towards, like along towards you. You're always going to be pushing it away from you. And you're just going to travel along each one of your lines. When you come to the corner of a line, don't try to turn the corner. You're not going to end up with nice smooth cuts by doing that. You're just going to come to the end of it, and then you can just lift and sort of cut that linoleum piece away, scrap away, and then just turn to make your next cut. So it comes out pretty easily. And that way you're just gonna, like if I try to turn right here and continue cutting, I'm just not gonna end up with as nice of a cut as if I just stop when I get to the end, peel that piece out, turn my block to then continue cutting. You also always want to make sure that you are cutting away from your hand. If you have your hand here, let's say, and you're cutting along and your blade slips, this will take a chunk right out of your finger. So you want to make sure that you are cutting always away from your hand, that you're holding your blade so that it's facing away from your hand, and that you're holding your linoleum on the other side from where your hand is. And you're just going to go along this and cut along each one of your lines. It should hopefully cut fairly smoothly for you. And then once you've gotten it all cut out, you'll be ready for that next step. Know that any cuts that you do make will show up in your project. So make sure that you're working carefully so you don't end up making a cut that you don't mean to have. And you want to try to make them as smooth as possible. The thicker your cuts are, like if you double any lines by cutting kind of two lines next to each other, the thicker that line will show up in your project, which isn't a bad thing. That may be something that you want. So just think about, like, do you want a real thin line? In which case you would need to just cut maybe a little more shallow cut and only just one. Or if you want a thicker line, then you may want to cut a deeper cut. Or a double cut where you just cut the line 2 times, one right next to each other.